Thanks for joining me today. I'm Aaron Rutten, and today I'm going to be demoing the Krita beta for Android. I'll be drawing on the Wacom One connected to my Samsung Galaxy S10 smartphone. According to the documentation, only Android tablets and Chromebooks are supported. It says it's currently not compatible with Android phones. Is that so? Well, this is the Wacom One connected to my smartphone, which is not an Android tablet. You'll need a USB-C hub for this. So let's see if it works. I have Krita loaded here. I'm just using Samsung DeX to basically make my phone project to my tablet. I'm going to do some drawing. And as you can see, I can draw in Krita. And this is not a light version of Krita. This is the full desktop version of Krita available on Android, which is awesome. This is a free open source application, and it is one of the best digital art applications for desktop and now for mobile. I think this is going to blow away the competition. So not only do I have pen pressure sensitivity, which works really, really well, but I can also use other types of styluses. I can use this nice pencil here, or I have this ink pen, all of which have pen pressure. But this particular tablet also supports pen tilt. So if I select the tilted pencil here, I can draw with the pencil upright, tilt it on its side to shade with it, and then back to upright. So I can change the shape of that mark very naturally. Now I'm drawing with the Wacom pen here, but if I switch to something like this pencil, and I shade with the side of it, it feels very natural. Now, in order to get this to work, there's one thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go to the menu up here in the top right, and you're going to have to go to Settings, and then Configure Krita. Then look under Display, and where it says Graphics Acceleration, you'll want to make sure that you uncheck that. I had to do that in order to be able to draw on the canvas. Now, another thing that really makes this a game changer as far as mobile painting is that I can pair my wireless Bluetooth keyboard here with my phone, so now I can use keyboard shortcuts on my keyboard to do undo. So I can do a bunch of lines here, and then just Control-Z on my keyboard to undo. Then, of course, I can redo if I want. So this isn't going to be a full-blown review of Krita. I'm not going to go through all of the features. I just kind of want to show you that this is something that's possible. Krita is such a robust app that there's really no competition here if you're comparing this to the other mobile digital art apps. This is just really awesome to be able to use the desktop version of the software on a mobile device. You really could get away with just having your phone and your tablet like this and nothing else. Now, the performance you're going to get obviously isn't going to be as good as it would be if you're drawing on a desktop computer or even a laptop, but just for doing basic painting, I'm not seeing a whole lot of lag here. It's working pretty quickly. Now, if I get into something that's a little bit more complicated, like let's say one of these wet media brushes, and I make a brush that's super huge here, 1,000 pixels, and I paint, then of course I'm going to be getting some lag. But you'd be getting lag like that on a desktop computer as well. Now, it hasn't crashed my phone. I don't actually know what would happen if Krita crashes here. I guess we could find out. But so far it seems to be handling that big brush just really, really slowly. Now I can try to hit escape here just to cancel out of that. And I can make my brush quite a bit smaller, let's say around 100 or so. And even that is pretty decent performance, I'd say, for a phone. My phone is not a desktop computer. So if I do slower strokes here, I can still paint pretty comfortably with this brush. I get that really nice pen pressure that lets me kind of blend and mix the colors together. One thing that's really awesome about Krita compared to many other art applications, not just on phone but on desktop, is it has a really great variety of brushes that faithfully simulate natural media. So I have really good blenders here, not just okay blenders, good blenders. And that's really important for people who want that painterly look. The Wacom One doesn't support touch. However, I can use my phone as a trackpad. And then I can zoom in and out. Although one problem is that whenever you go in and you disable canvas graphics acceleration, then it kind of messes up your performance of moving your canvas. So I can turn that back on, and that might help with performance a little bit. But as you can see, I'm using the trackpad on my phone to support touch in this application. Now it is a little bit buggy, as you can see here. I'm accidentally drawing sometimes. It's a little bit hard to get it lined up. Now I would recommend, if you're really serious about making digital art, go ahead and get Krita on the desktop because the experience is going to be so much better. This is something that's maybe kind of an intermediate step, but it really raises the bar for what you can do on a phone. You'll notice when I do some undos, I get a little bit of glitchiness here, I don't know if that's a bug or that's just has to do with the fact that I'm drawing on a phone when I'm not supposed to be. But if I go in and I go to settings and disable the canvas graphics acceleration, then I'm not getting that glitchiness. Another thing that sets Krita apart from the competition is that there are Photoshop style filters that you can apply. So if I go up to the top right, I go to filter, then I have filters for blurs, so I can do a Gaussian blur. And you can see it's going to process a little bit more slowly because, again, this is a phone, but I can create a really nice blur. Do an undo here. Let's see what else we can do. We can adjust the hue, saturation, and value so I can make this a different color. So there's really a lot you can do here inside of Krita to edit your image. There are also vector brushes, so I can draw in vector here. Then I get these nice vector layers, so I can mix vector and pixel art together. I have really nice layers support here. I even have advanced color panels that I can get into. For example, in the advanced color selector, I'll click on this tiny button in the top left. And here I can change this between all kinds of different color selectors, which is really valuable. I can also change the color model. We have HSY, which is a really interesting color model that keeps your colors kind of consistent in chroma. If we want, we can drag panels out and move them around on their own. And there's also different layouts you can get here in the top right. For example, we could choose minimal. Now we have something that doesn't take up quite as much of our tablet here. You can also dock this stuff by hovering over here on the right. You can resize this to make it smaller if I like. I'm having a bit of trouble here configuring everything because this is not the desktop version. All I want to do here is just get a decent sized color selector, so I guess I'll just try to live with that. One thing that can be helpful too if I'm just using the regular Wacom pen is I can hold down this shortcut button, and when I do that then I can pan my page. If I let go then I can draw again. If I want to get my layers panel back, I'll just go to the top right to the menu, and I'll go to settings, and then dockers, and then here I can check layers to show that. I have to dock this first, and then dock layers with it. I'm going to go back to the top right menu, back to settings, back to dockers. I'm also going to show the artistic color selector. I'll go ahead and dock this with my advanced color selector so I can go between the two easily. But as you can see, this gives you segmented colors that kind of go from saturated to desaturated. And right now I'm using the HSY color mode, which gives me colors that are very similar to each other in chroma. This is a tool that's kind of more on the advanced side, but this is something that's really nice to have on a mobile painting application. We also have lots of tools over here to create selections and shapes and gradients and text. Another really cool thing about Krita is that you can create your own custom brushes, and there are a ton of properties you can use to customize these brushes. You can make just about anything. It has really one of the more advanced brush engines out there. You can also do animation in this application. It has a really robust animation feature. Another neat feature is that when you go to save your artwork, you have sort of a Windows or Mac style interface here where you're saving your artwork, and it's not like you have to hunt around on your phone through some sort of mobile menu. So I can choose the file format from all these different file formats. I can give it a name, save it in a folder location, and so on. And now for my conclusion. Honestly, I'm blown away by this. As I was creating this painting, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I felt like I'm working basically on my desktop, other than maybe some things are kind of packed into menus and a little bit harder to get to, but feature-wise, everything was there. Performance-wise, yeah, I'm drawing on a phone. It's going to be a little bit slower, but it wasn't so slow that I couldn't create a painting. I was actually quite comfortable. So this makes me happy. Painting on a phone is even more legit now that Krita is available for Android. So I'm not going to go through every single feature here in Krita. I think if you're familiar with Krita, by now you get how awesome this is, that you can use this on a mobile device. If you've never used Krita before and you're painting on your phone or your Wacom One or your Android tablet or a Chromebook, definitely check this out because Krita is one of the best, if not the best, mobile painting applications that you can get. I hope you enjoyed my demonstration of Krita on Android. If you're interested in learning more about how to use Krita, check out some of my tutorials. I'll link you to those at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.